Hi everyone, it's Bev DeBono with today's tip. I want to show you a really cool idea today that uses 4" by 4" squares to make this optical illusion of strips. So let's get started, and I want to show you how I do this. And I'm going to use 4 coordinating colors, and these are some scraps that I had lying around, and I'm going to cut 4" by 4" squares using the 4 coordinating colors. I've gone ahead and cut my squares, and once you have your squares, you need 9 altogether. So you have 3 of the first color, 2 of the other 3 colors. And these are 4" by 4" squares, and you do need 9 of them. Once you have all of your squares, then you want to cut each of them individually into triangles. And to cut your squares into triangles, we're going to use our 12" trimmer, and we're going to take the squares and just put them so that they are a diamond. And I'm going to lay it right up against the 45-degree angle on my trimmer, and then make sure the top point is on my cutting line. And remember, the cutting line is the number that's closest to the words creative memories. And I'm going to make sure the bottom point is on my cutting line at the bottom. And then I'm going to cut this in half diagonally. And when it's laid on these points, you get a very precise cut. You see how pointed those triangle corners are. So I've gone ahead and done this to all of the squares right now. And the next thing we want to do is then play around with the positioning of your squares to form a pattern. So I know that I want a solid up near the top, and so these are going to you're just going to play around with these until you get a pattern. And I know I want that square there on the bottom and right in the middle, and I know I want this square down, that triangle down there. And your first row, then I have, this is now going to become this one. There we go. And just play around with it until you find a design that works for you. So now this is going here, and this one will go there. You just have to keep playing with that because it's kind of a little bit of a puzzle, actually. And it's really kind of fun just playing around with the triangles. And there you go. So it's a little bit of a puzzle, and just putting all of the pieces together. And it really uses up, if you have 4" by 4" scraps, this is a perfect way to use up your scraps. So next we're going to put it onto our solid cardstock base. And I'm going to be using the repositionable tape, because the repositionable tape is going to get all the way into the points of the triangle. And if you use it on either your silicone mat or on a piece of wax paper, you can get your micro dots all the way to the points of the triangle so that they don't lift up on your design as you're creating it or as you are adding your photos. And I'm just going to now build this. I already have put tape on the base of all of these in the interest of time. And I'm just going to now just build it the same way that I have it on my other mat. And sometimes you'll find that with cardstock, like I'm showing here, there's just a little bit of the cardstock is just a teens bigger than where I might want it to be, and that's fine. There's always a little bit of give and take with cardstock. So you can, when you're done, just trim off that little excess right in your trimmer, and it will just even it out. So you see how fun this is. I've tried doing this and measuring it to actually get the strips, but it used up an awful lot of paper, and I like to really use my paper wisely and use a lot of my scraps. So this 4x4 illusion is really kind of a fun one. So continue putting along, putting your tape, again, all at your corners with your repositionable tape, your corners of your triangle, and placing them one by one on your cardstock base. And you can then decorate. Let me just add, I'm just going to put a little tape in the middle here so we can move along. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that little overlap, oversight with the cardstock. At the very bottom, I have a little piece, a little bit of whiteness showing, and I'm going to just cut that off with the trimmer after, just to even it out. Okay, so if you have a little bit of this excess here, just put that on your trimmer and then just cut that off. Now, I really like this idea because you can make a really great 2-page spread with this. And you can turn it around many different ways and position it in all different directions to make your 2-page spread. I kind of like this one the best. I'm just going to put it together so you can see how nicely that looks as a 2-page spread. And if you want, you can punch out either a border with any of your punches or your border maker cartridges. You can add that to your design. If you like, you could put it on, 2 sides to the design. You could even put it this way so that they intersect on the 2-page spread, the double-page spread. If you are going to put photos in here, you could put a really big one in the middle, or that could be your title piece. And you can make a 3.5-inch square with that. That one's a 3.5, and you can make that your title piece. And you can add your title either in the middle with more decorations, or you can even add your title up at your corners, something like that, or something like that. And it's really a very, very pretty design. So I hope you like today's tip. It's using 4-inch by 4-inch squares to make the optical illusion of strips. and check out my other videos on Bev DeBono Designs, and you can subscribe to me on YouTube, and I hope you enjoy it. Bye-bye.